Now, from the Random Studio in New York City, this is the News Update with your host, Andy's Randomness.
Now, an emergency weather alert from Andy's Randomness.
And good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to your news update for Wednesday, August 29th, 2018. I was out today in Jackson Heights, if you haven't heard by now. It wasn't that bad being in Jackson Heights. They have a nice shopping plaza by 74th Street and Broadway. I did notice, thanks to being near Flushing Bay, that it was a little bit comfortable. The breeze was all right, but now we're going to get to weather update. We're going to get to it right now at the current conditions in Central Park, and then we'll go to the current conditions here in Fresh Meadows, our Cunningham Park report. Go now to the screen. We'll see it, and there we go. So, here's the current temperature at Central Park at this hour right now. It is 93 with the real feel of 101. The dew point is again at 70. Humidity is at 48%. We have, of course, a wind today. Once again, Central Park can't really measure the wind gusts, so that's sad to even take a look at. Now we'll go to Fresh Meadows. We're pretty much sizzling. Our dew point is higher at 72. We are noticing a breeze here with the wind at 13 miles an hour and, of course, the gust at 17. Just a reminder that we are under an air quality alert until later tonight at 11 o'clock. Looks like we may have another evening of pretty much not even going below 80. I'll show you that in a sec, on the hour by hour. Yeah, so we have the heat advisory now extended until tomorrow at 8 p.m. So the heat advisory has now been extended. It was supposed to end tonight at 8 o'clock. Now we are going to have another excruciating day tomorrow. We might even hit 90 again. So I don't know if we hit 90 on Monday, but if not, well, looks like we're going to have a definite heat wave. Yeah, look at this, 100 today. Let's see when it says that. How is this even possible? Yeah, with the real feel, it's 103. You had to do points in. Yeah, so tonight our low will barely even touch 80, 79. And looks like tomorrow the temperature will drop as a cold front will come into our area. And we might see some needed rain. It hasn't rained in about a week, so that's a decent chance. But I just want to quickly look at Saturday here. All right. Okay, good. So looks like my event I'm going to in Franklin Square on Saturday should be fine. Looks like it's just going to rain in the morning and then it'll let up. That's very good because I do have a concert I have to go to this weekend in Franklin Square. So let's take a look at our Weather Underground map. Quickly just go to Montauk, see how they're doing. We'll go to my favorite place to look at today, which would be Nantucket. That's where I would want to be. Yeah, so Montauk is in the low 70s. Well, let's take a look at Nantucket. If you can find it. Yeah, here's Nantucket Island. 79 degrees. Even though it's humid, I'd rather be there today. Looks like Maine's cooling down. 78 over here. Not too bad. Place in Gotham, New Hampshire, 98. I don't want to go into New England. That's just too in-depth. Let's check to see how Delmarva is doing this afternoon. So, here in Delmarva, we're looking at temperatures pretty much around the low to mid 90s. Dover is reporting 96. Let's see how Ocean City's doing. Ocean City is pretty much reporting between, wow, if this is correct, Ocean City hit 90 today, which that rarely happens. Let's confirm it right now. 21842. Okay, that's wrong. It's coming from the sun directly hitting the thermometer. So it's humid in Ocean City today, like I would assume. Let's just go to here. Trying to see if we can get you Salisbury. Get that just a second. See how they're doing, and then let's go to a spot I want to go to today, Flagstaff, Arizona, for some wishful thinking. Yeah, so pretty much low 80s, upper 90s today. Possible in Salisbury. It's still possible. It's only like 4 o'clock. Let's see how Easton's doing. Easton is doing. Cambridge is being. Cambridge, they always suffer too. 93 in Easton. Let's check Crisfield. How is Crisfield doing today? Yep, Crisfield's soaking too. Okomoke's probably suffering too. Not a good day to be in the peninsula. Check Stevensonville. How they're doing. Yeah, Stevensonville's reporting in the low to mid 90s. And then for some wishful thinking, how's Chincoteague Island? Yes, let's see how they're doing. So Chincoteague staying in the 80s. So that's not too bad being near Chincoteague Island. Lastly, we'll just check a place I want to look at. Flagstaff, Arizona. How are they doing? 76. It's just remarkable. See how they're doing. Yep. Not a 90-degree temperature in sight near Flagstaff. It's just remarkable. So we got 2 developing stories today. I figured this is the most recent developing story, so we will play it right now. Developing news. All right, so here's what's developing this afternoon. I was going to read you some AM New York articles to wrap up this video. So, first up, the Jets traded away Teddy Bridgewater and a 6th-round draft pick to the New Orleans Saints. Ian Rappaport earlier reported this today via a source informed of the situation. The New York Jets possibly are trying to tell us that the Monday night game against Detroit coming up on September 10th, most likely the quarterback will be Sam Darnold. So Darnold's having a good preseason, but this is huge for the Saints in case Breeze gets hurt, because now the Saints are going to be competitive. Now they landed Teddy Bridgewater. He's having a good preseason. Don't get me wrong. So let me see. Who are the Jets getting back in this deal? Okay, the Saints will surrender a 3rd-round draft pick. All right, so the Jets are going to get New Orleans' 3rd-round draft pick next year, or 2020. So, yeah, Teddy Bridgewater and New Orleans Saint. That's going to be interesting, to say the least. Now we got more developing news to talk to you all about. I always lose the developing news thing. Here we go. All right, we have developing news from East Meadow still at this hour, as the Nassau County Police Commissioner has confirmed that remains found in East Meadow are from MS-13. We'll read this. Human remains were found earlier today deep within the bramble in East Meadow, where that of a young man killed by the MS-13 street gang, the Nassau County Police Commissioner Patrick Ryder said. Acting on tips to law enforcement, police searched and found the remains in a shallow grave about a 1.5 feet deep. DNA testing will determine the identity of the victim, believed to be in his late teenage years. So, Patrick Ryder has confirmed it is MS-13. We have about 5 of these individuals involved already in custody. The teenager was killed a little over a year ago in the location where he was found. Nassau County Police will dig around the remains around Meadowbrook Parkway and Glen Curtis Boulevard, which is not really East Meadow. It's sort of considered more Uniondale in a way, but it is by Kellenberg Memorial High School. And I found out about this story from none other than Matt Camper himself, because believe it or not, he was near the scene as this was happening. So he first, because I'm subscribed to him, so I got the YouTube notification system right when I got Wi-Fi at Wendy's in Jackson Heights earlier today. I was checking, and I got the info from him, and pretty much every outlet's picking this up, including Newsday, of course. That's why I got the story from. We do not know if the victim was a gang member. And then Nassau County Executive Laura Kern was quoted saying, again, we are reminded of the brutality of gang violence. We will once and for all eradicate the violence. There are too many parents, too many families who have seen their children butchered by these gangs, and this must stop. So no murders have been tied to the gang this year. Well, the country is safe and the community is safe. January indictment in Nassau County Court charged 17 with ties to MS-13 crimes ranging from murder and drug trafficking to conspiracy and weapons possession. They also got the East Coast leader. I'm going to keep reading this quickly. Yeah, and remember, there were 2 murders found last year in Roosevelt and Hempstead. So I'm glad they found this, but again, East Meadow is a safe area. It is. I know it very well. Number one, because Matt Camper, which you know I collaborate with him, he's literally 3 blocks away from the Apollo Diner, like 3 blocks. So, like, you know, it's funny how in an area like this, you would say to yourself, well, you know, it's scary to even think that this is possible. And, you know, I hope it doesn't happen again in East Meadow. I really don't, because East Meadow was a nice town. I just wish they had the M51 back, but yeah. That's pretty much where I'm going to wrap up that part. I'm going to read you some articles I have today from the AM New York. So let's just go back to me, and I'll read you some articles from today's AM New York. Tonight we have a debate. You know what, let me skip this article. It's too in-depth, but there is a debate tonight between current incumbent governor here in New York, Andrew Cuomo, and Cynthia Nixon. I'll quickly just summarize it tonight. Tonight, Ms. Nixon is expected to tackle Andrew Cuomo on lack of accountability for the MTA. She's expected to talk about that tonight at the debate. The debate is hosted by CBS2, WCBS Television. The debate will be available on the CBSN YouTube page. So it is confirmed it will be on their YouTube page live at 7 o'clock. The debate is also available on 1010 Wins. It is also streaming live on the radio.com app. So if you can't get to the TV, you want to only listen to it, it's accessible. So it's on the radio tonight. So you will be able to hear what's going on. All right. So I'll read you this interesting article if you haven't heard from it by now. There were bees near a Times Square hot dog stand. So it's not complicated to read about this. Times Square was abuzz yesterday afternoon after a swarm of bees commanded a hot dog stand in the tourist hotspot. The NYPD closed off an area at 43rd Street surrounding a mobile hot dog cart that was covered in an estimated 25,000 bees, according to the Twitter account for the department's beekeeper. Curious tourists and bystanders kept their distance as Officer Michael Loriano, also a beekeeper equipped with a protective suit and helmet, vacuumed the insects off the stand's umbrella. Wallace Elframray was working in another cart nearby and said he tried to shoo away the bees but using the smoke from his cart. The department did not immediately have information as to how the bees arrived in Times Square, but did not say there were no reported injuries. The swarm will be released into a hive in Long Island, according to the Twitter account for the department's beekeeper. A spokesman for the Times Square Alliance did not provide comment other than saying earlier in the day it was looking into the incident. All right, so there's an article on page A3 about speed cameras. I don't really want to read about that. It's just, repetitive. Let me see what else we got. Oh, right. I want to quickly mention a big article on page A4 today if you are reading along with me, if you have a copy of today's AM New York. The death toll from Hurricane Maria has officially been released. The study from George Washington University said that the total death amount from Hurricane Maria, the devastating Category 5 storm that hit the entire island of Puerto Rico, estimated that 2,975 people perished in the storm. The study also said that most people were either poor and or elderly. So that's the study that came out. And it's just another boring article about Trump talking about media bias again, which honestly, again, I don't need to read into that. Ooh, here we go. Here's some interesting statistics on hate crimes. Reported hate crimes in New York City made a marked drop over the last year, according to the NYPD data released yesterday. Year-to-date, hate crimes declined by 8% compared to 2017. By Sunday, there were 239 reported hate crimes in 2017, but they are 20 less as 2018 has seen 219 incidents have been reported over the same period, according to the data. Reported anti-Semitic hate crimes took a 12% dip during that period, going from 108 last year to 95 this year. Reported anti-Muslim incidents dropped from 25% to 16, the NYPD said. All right, so there's some decent news I could read to you today from AM New York. Let's see what else is in the paper. Controversy about Louis C.K. coming back. Let's see what else we got. Long. Yeah, just health stuff. I may have some news about Aaron Judge. I may have some news. We'll go to that to wrap up this video because I think the paper mentioned it, but it's not. It's just a quote. So let's see if I can get an online article about it, and I'll put it up on the screen, and then we'll wrap up the news update for today. It looks like. Let me just see what's on Drudge just for a quick second. See if any other developing stories are going around. Reports. Let's see what we got. Just see what Just some boring stories I'm not going to get into. I just wanted to check the Drudge Report randomly. Nothing's good. Ooh. According to Pro Football Talk, Aaron Rodgers has just gotten a contract extension. The Green Bay Packers quarterback's contract will total $174.8 million. This is interesting news because back on Monday, Giants wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. Just got a $98 million contract extension. It just came up as I was looking at Judge. Okay, here's an ESPN article. I'll quickly read it. He has yet to pass tests. I can't get the number right here. Let's see what we got. Ridiculous. All right, I disabled it, so let's see what I got. Okay. The Yankees are getting closer to full strength with both Gary Sanchez and Didi Gregorius possibly being added to the 40-man roster on Saturday. However, the news on Aaron Judge is not as promising. Judge still hasn't swung a bat, as a timetable on when we might see him back in the lineup is anybody's guess right now. The news on Sanchez and Didi is a huge positive, but it's likely they'll still be without their superstar slugger as we enter the last month of the season. There's no way of knowing when Judge might return until the pain is in that fractured right wrist. It's completely gone, and according to Judge, the original 3-week timetable announced for the Yankees is now off. Yes, so good news is they are going to get back Didi Gregorius and Gary Sanchez this weekend, which is a big boost because, honestly, those are everyday players. The outfield's going to be fine. If we call – I don't know if Frazier's getting called up, but there are a couple outfielders who might get called up. But right now our lineup is decent, I would say. Okay, last night at – let me see when this article was posted. Yeah, it was posted yesterday. So back on Monday, Gary Sanchez launched a homer at AAA Scranton. That's very good news. Okay, so the Yankees are trying to save Sanchez and Gregorius for when the Yankees start their road trip against Oakland and then Seattle, so which is a very big stretch coming up. Very good teams on the West Coast. So that's going to be very important. Oh, and quickly want to mention, yesterday the Mets confirmed that David Wright, the Mets captain, will be playing in AAA Las Vegas, but the Mets are being cautious, and it looks like he may not even be called up to the big club. So that's where I'm going to end it. And as I always end it, we'll read your comments. Let's see if anybody has commented, and if nobody has, I will wrap up the video. So that's where I'm going to end it. And as I always end it, all right, so we have no comments, nothing to add. That's going to wrap up the news update for August 29th, 2018. Stay tuned. I have a video going up. I'm about to upload it. Let me just put the upload button so you all can see it. About to upload it right now. So have your notifications turned on as I will upload this video Making sure I got the right one. There we go. So now it's uploading. Stay tuned for that. Thank you all for watching. Until the next one, please take care.